Right, how's it going? So, Buckwave FM asked me if I could do some patch notes, and I'm incredibly pants at actually writing anything down. So I thought what I'd do instead is I would drink a couple of beers and see what I could do in exactly 20 minutes, getting from kind of zero to hero, explaining what I'm doing. Now, the reason why I want to do this is that one thing that kind of put me off doing hardware and modular synths for quite a long time is it just looks really hard, and I promise you it isn't as hard as it looks, and I will prove that to you in 20 minutes. Before I get started, I've got a couple of things to say. Firstly, it's the middle of the heatwave in Britain. I know it's on the news, elsewhere in the world, so if you're like, oh Ben, I'm from Australia, you're a pansy, then maybe I am, because I am literally melting into my chair right now. The second thing is, well, actually you'll see why I've got the obligatory Moog plants, but they're dying, as you can see, because it's hot as shit. Oh, also I'm quite sweary, I'll try not to swear, and I'm drinking Peroni because it was an offer in the shop nearby. So what we got here, so we've got Dfam, Subharmonicon, Mother 32, Pulsar, and an Arturia Beatstep Pro. I got the Arturia Beatstep Pro recently because I can't for the life of me work out how the hell the Soma sequencer works. I tried it for like 2 weeks and I was like, stuff this, I'll get the Beatstep Pro, and I'm really happy with the Beatstep Pro, by the way. So, without further ado, I think everything is recording nicely. Yeah, so let's get started. So, first thing I like to do is let's get everything reset and nicely and plugged in. Now, by the way, and I'll talk while I'm doing it, you know what the coolest thing about the Beatstep Pro is, right? Is the cables that came with it are the same colours as the channels on the Beatstep Pro. Now, I had a KeyStep Pro, I got rid of it because I had too many keyboards. That is the coolest thing ever. So what I'm going to do is I am going to show you how cool it is by plugging those in to start off with. This is always how I start off with. Look, there's the nice green ones. I don't know where the other green one's gone. Here it is. And I've only got 3 green ones because I've got 3, like the gate, the pitch, and the velocity. I'm going to do that the same on this yellow one here. Chuck that in. Oh man, it's so hot. Okay, and then I'm going to put a couple of gates in. So the purple ones are the drum gates. So we'll send those drum gates out in a second. And then I'm set up nice and easily, and that's quite a cool way to kind of start. Now, the other thing what I'll do is usually I put one in 8, and that's just so I can have a really nice, cool visual of what my timing is. I'm going to plug that straight into the Subharmonicon. So that's plugged in there. First thing I want to do is plug in my drum gates. What am I doing with the other colours? So let's plug these in. So we get the bass drum first, which is on this channel here. Then we go for the snare, which is this channel here. And then we go for the hi-hat, which is this channel here. Then I use a crocodile clip. I never thought I would have a bag of crocodile clips as a 35-year-old man. I thought I left that at school with like Bunsen burners and shit. But turns out I have a whole load of them. And I gotta admit, since getting the Pulsar 23, I hate them. It's really difficult because like they have like little foreskins on them, and they always kind of pull off. It's a right pain in the dick. Well, not proverbially, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so I'm trying to do this as quick as I can. So now those are all plugged in. If I come to the drum part, which is the purple one, perfect. Now what I'll do is let's turn the effects off for now. What I usually like to do as well is just have a little bit of a play around with the drums just to see if I like them. I had this set up from one before, so I'm pretty happy with this sound. So turn the release up a bit more on the hi-hat. Anyway, yeah, that's cool. Right, so I'm happy with the sounds. That'll be all right. Let's turn it up a bit. Cool. Now we've got that. Now what I want to do is let us come into the Mother 32. So we get the yellow one. So we got pitch first. Let's plug the pitch into the voltage per octave. Then I think it is velocity. Oh man, I'm sweating like a pig. Let's plug that into the cutoff, and then the gate into the gate, nice and easily. And then if I come onto the yellow sequence, oh yeah, nothing play. Oh, I need to turn it up. Oh yeah, I've got Ableton. I've got I just opened Valhalla Shimmer, just turned it on, so that's going through Ableton at the back there. And then I've also got a ping pong delay, which I don't think I've even got turned on, so it doesn't even matter. We do have time. We're doing okay. So probably need to tune that into whatever we have in a second, but I'm happy we've got that sorted. And then finally, let's use the green one to come into the bass module. These ones are slightly longer, so I probably should have done the other way around. So let's plug this into the bass module. Okay, so we got this one first. That'll go into pitch. Oh, I need to get my damn... Oh, I hate the crocodile clips. Right, and then we'll plug that into pitch on CV in. And then we'll plug this crocodile clip. I mean, like, I don't have enough flipping cables hanging around already. My missus is like, what are you doing with your life? And I'm like, I have no idea. Then I'm going to plug that one into, what was the second one? Velocity. So let's plug that into this mod here. Oh yeah, I need to come into that one. And then finally we've got a trigger, so I need to find one last, there we go. This trigger can come into here. Oh, I am melting. Oh. Turn up. Now, you have two choices on the Pulsar 23. You can go for CV. But you know what, I've got some other oscillators, so I'm going to come on this cool percussion thing. We'll use that in a bit. Cool, right, so now we are perfectly set up. Now what I want to do is, whenever I come into the Pulsar 23, all I'm going to do is, and by the way, I'm only going to do basic shit on this anyway, because I need to cool down. I need probably get in a bath or something. A really cold bath. Anyway, so, yeah, what I'm going to do is, this will be very basic, but what I'm going to do is, I think I had this from before anyway, so let's just see how this sounds. So if I go into, this is on 8, isn't it? So on the drum sequencer. If I go like that, and then click play. Now I can now make that go faster using my sequencer. Now I don't know if people already know this. I don't know it. I don't have any friends that play synths. But you know what? If I want to make it go faster now, I can do it that way. Now, that's beautiful. I'm happy with that. I actually like this bass line from before. So I've got that, and all I did was just twiddle around with it before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually slow that down by turning these off in order. And I actually like strumming it by using the trigger from the second sequencer. So I'm going to have rhythm 2 all the way up, and then turn the sequencer on, and then let's turn the decay down a bit. So now I've got a bit of a bass line going through. It's only playing 4 notes, but actually, and I can change around the rhythm that that's playing by changing rhythm 2, even though I haven't got the oscillators turned on. How are we doing for time? We're doing okay for time. So that's plugged in. Let's come back to our bass drum. Now, let's start off with a 4/4. Beautiful. Now, honestly, that is just too easy. It is too easy. I've got a 4/4 playing, it's coming directly from here. All is synced up, and I've just done it. But let's leave it there for now. Now, let's come on to our snare drum. That is too easy. I almost feel dirty for making that easy, but you know what? And then let's come on to our hi-hat. Let's turn the release all the way down. Now, what I want to do is, let's turn that down a bit. Let's play with the high pass filter, so it sounds like we know what the hell we're doing. Cool. Okay. Now, again, this is very simple. I might mess with the drum beat in a sec because it's a bit too easy. Now, what I want to do is I want to get the Dfam in, because in actual fact, if I turn this down, I've got a basic. Oh, it's almost painfully easy. Let's just turn some of these. Let's change some of these hi-hats. Okay, that sounds a bit more interesting. So, okay, right. Next thing we want to do is let's use the Dfam. So, I've got the Dfam channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that into channel 7 using the same method. Again, I know there must be lots of other ways of doing this. It's just the way I like. Now when I press play, nothing will happen, so I need to come on here, turn all these on. You know what? I promise you I haven't done anything with that Dfam before. It just does cool things. You just turn it on and it just sounds awesome. So... just change the cut off. The decay. Let's see if I can get something good, even better out of it. I'm really not doing anything other than turning some knobs here. I feel like in the back of my mind, I know what I'm doing, but it also feels like I'm just turning knobs. But I like the sound of where it's going. I feel like I should be putting more effort into this at the moment. What I'd say as well is that if sometimes when I'm kind of trying to find the sound that I'm kind of looking for, what I'll usually do is, say for example, I've got 2 points on the cutoff here. I've got this one, and then I've got this one when I turn the cutoff right up. So all I've done there is change the cutoff. So I'm memorizing that because then when I come in to play the song, I'm like, right, that point I can change the cutoff to make it sound more aggressive, which is cool. So now what I need to do is make sure that it sounds good with my Subharmonicon. So let's have a listen to that. Now I'm going to skip forward a little bit because now what I want is I want something quite cool sounding on the Subharmonicon. So I've also got a cold on the hottest day in Britain ever, which is not helpful. Jesus. You know, this happens all the time. You'll literally be pissing about, or you won't even have done anything, and you're like, I haven't changed anything since I last turned the Subharmonicon off, but it's made me a new song. How cool is that? Didn't even have to try. Also, it's worth pointing out as well, I don't use the polyrhythm section of the Subharmonicon, or the polyrhythmic synthesizer part of it. As I should be using it way more than I do. And you know the reason I don't is because actually I really like making 4-step sequences with 2 oscillators. I know it's weird, but listen to that. It's simple, but it's effective. I mean, and the drums are pretty simple as well. It's almost annoying me how simple they are. Okay. Now what we need to do is add a little bit of a lead in with our Mother 32. So let's come into the yellow one. Now what I need to do is I need to tune it. So if I press play on here, let's turn everything else down. that works. So we're actually doing pretty well for timing here, because all I'm going to do now is I'm just literally going to play what I just played. I didn't even have to tune it. That's pretty good. The problem is that you can change the frequency knob as well on the Mother 32, and which I've done. So I have no idea what key I'm playing in right now, which is cool because I'm only using modular synthesized gear, but I'm still trying to work out which notes go next to which here. And maybe if I had a better understanding of music theory, I'd know what I was doing, but I just don't have the concentration for it. So, by the way, I do know a bit of music theory and I can play a few instruments. It's just I'm not as good at it as I'd like to be, and I'm making excuses just for anyone who's picking me up on that. Cool. I'm just gonna. So what I usually do as well in my head is I'm like, right, okay, these notes work. They don't work. Now, there's probably more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes, but I want to be safe, so. Cool, so that sounds like it'll work. So, let's hit record. I need to make sure I've got the last step, which will be... Let's go for that one. Okay, let's record that. Let's just see what comes out, I suppose. I don't have a lot of time, but I'm actually going to re-record that because I don't like it at all. Today. So now what I've done is, now let me just check that I've still got memory on my SD card. Yes. Okay, 4 minutes. Now this is the main part. So what I want to do now is, now I see this part, or the playing the song, kind of like being a DJ. So I don't really know much about being a DJ, so if you're a DJ, I may be getting all of this wrong. But my plan is now I turn everything down. So all of the knobs go down. In fact, so all of the knobs go down. So now what I do is, now I bring them back in turn and then mix around with them with the methods that I've spoken about before. So, God, it's hot. So let's do that now. So let's press play and let's bring the things in as we can. So let's start off with the... So now we've got a nice bass drum. Bring down the release a little bit. Bring down the hi-hat. And then let's bring in our little subharmonic and bass line. I've always got something that I can kind of play live if I want to, and I'm going to do that with my weird Soma percussion-y thing. Okay, now what I'm going to do is let's bring in our Mother 32. Okay, now we've got that. So now let's bring in let's turn this down in a second, then turn up the second oscillator or channel or whatever on the Subharmonicon. Not the most perfect change I've ever made. Cool, now we've done a little twiddly bit with the bass module. Now I ruined it. Now let's have a little bit of a Dfam interlude by turning all that down. I fucking love this about the Dfam. It just does that cool sound thing. Let's see if maybe we can bring the Mother 32 back in. Oh, let's record that. And then maybe let's mess with the decay. And if you remember before, we were going to mess with the cut-off knob at this point. So now, really, all I'm doing now is messing with the knobs because everything else is recorded, it just works fine. The Pulsar just sounds so metallic. And then maybe let's bring the Subharmonicon in, but only using the other, so not the kind of bassy one on the first one that mixes it, let's use the other one. And then let's add the bass in. Yeah! So I'm going to just turn this down a touch. So hopefully you can see how easy it is to make a tune using semi-modular stuff. Now, I know there's a lot of assumed knowledge going on here, but I guarantee you I've only been doing this for about a year. As soon as you get the basics, the best bit is there's a game called Hearthstone which I absolutely love. And the whole thing behind it is they've got a little marketing slogan which is easy to learn, difficult to master. This stuff is easy to learn, the basics, but it's but you're always finding new stuff out every time you like crack it open. And that's what's so good about it. And like I said, in 20 minutes, in fact, let me just check. Yeah. In just over 20 minutes, we've got this. And most of it was made from happy accidents. So I hope you enjoyed, and well done if you've stayed to the end, by the way. I hope you enjoyed patching with me on the hottest day of the year in Britain ever. I'm going to go and sit in my car because that's the only place I have air conditioning and fall asleep. But it's been an absolute pleasure to take you through playing this song. Have a great day. Like and subscribe and all that shit. See you in a bit. Bye.